All right, guys. Looks like I've got it up and running. So, welcome everybody. Mike McDonald here, just coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I've got the chat open right now. If you guys want to let me know where you're coming in from and if you can hear me okay, that would be awesome. Guys, hear me okay at all? Let me know. That'd be great. Get started here in just a second. Awesome. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for letting me know. Welcome from Columbus, Ohio. All right, I'm gonna toss off the chat here since it sounds like you guys can hear me. We'll go ahead and get started. All right, guys, well, welcome. Mike McDonald here, coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and tonight's training just going to go through the inviting mastery part one of the impact prospecting recruiting mastery system. Basically, going to go through tonight how you can become a master prospector and recruiter without being pushy or desperate. And how it all started. And basically, I started in network marketing a long time ago, about 10 years ago at this point. And you might not believe it at this point, but when I started off, I was really introverted, pretty much a big introverted video game nerd. Socially awkward, didn't have any sales skills. I was really shy. I definitely wasn't a public speaker, and I was definitely scared to talk to people. I mean, there was times where I would have an appointment and I would see the person there and I'd hide until the last possible minute until I could talk to them. So, I definitely did not have, I guess, the general outline you would think that you would need to be successful in a home business or network marketing. And, after a couple of years in the business, needless to say, I was pretty good at it. Just kidding. But I was losing money in my business. I had about 2 customers in 2 years, and I was scaring prospects away with how terrible I was. And I had hundreds of no-shows, and none of my friends and family really took me seriously. And I really had zero business partners that had joined at that point. So, needless to say, I was crushing it in my business, and that's really where you know that things can change. That's where I started to learn how to prospect. I found mentors and people I could lock arms with and actually plug into the business. And, after many years of struggling, these are just some of the results that I've had since then. I've been able to speak on stage at company events. These are some of the different trips that I've been on. So, there's Mexico there, Phoenix, Arizona, cruise to the Bahamas, Miami, Vegas. So I've been able to travel all over the world at this point, and really help make a difference and help people reach their goals in their business and have a growing team all over the world. So if anybody can do it, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Like I said, I was not a business expert. I had never done sales before. Socially awkward, super introverted and shy, and these are just some of the results that you can get in your business when you really master inviting, which is really the foundation of building a successful business. So, who is this course for? And basically, if you have a business or a product or service that you're looking to promote right now, and you really want to expose a lot of people to it, sales is a numbers game. Network marketing is all a numbers game. So the more people you get in front of your business correctly, the better results that you're going to get. So if you're seeing yourself right now and you feel like you don't know what to say, you don't really want to come off on as spammy on your Facebook post or maybe your social media, and you don't want to be that guy, just being spammy and having all those terrible posts. You're not looking to be pushy, or maybe you just feel like you don't want to be, the quote unquote aggressive sales type. And this works great if you're introverted. Like me, like I said, by nature, I'm more introverted. So these invites are going to work great for you. But it also really works well if you are extroverted, because again, one of the downsides of that can be is you really say too much, which I'll kind of get into. But so it can be really great no matter what kind of personality you have, to follow this system. And if you're not a salesperson, quote unquote, you feel like you don't have experience like that, you don't, you know, quote unquote have the gift of gab, whatever, it's not something that you really need to be successful in a home business or in network marketing. And just in general, if you aren't at the level you want to be at, again, the foundation to building a successful business is inviting and prospecting and getting people to see what you have. So tonight, what are you going to learn? You're going to learn a great hot market invite, how to invite through text and social media, a long distance invite. If you're reaching out to an old friend or maybe somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, how to invite your chicken list. So people you're maybe scared to talk to, how to go back and invite people if you've already screwed it up, and how to really take your business beyond inviting mastery. Like I said, this is really the foundation skill set that you want to have, but there's a whole lot more that you want to go into when you're building a successful business. There's more that goes into it than just inviting. And, obviously I only have so much time tonight. So at the end, I'll go through a different way you can really take your business further beyond just inviting mastery. And if you want to hang out to the end, I've got an extra bonus training at the end that I'm going to hook you guys up with. So stay tuned for that as well if you stick with us to the end. So again, kind of down to the basics of inviting, right? What is your main job when you're inviting? And what it is, you want to expose your prospect to your business and products for what they really are. And what a lot of people do is they try and go into a sales mode or a convincing mode, and they're trying to present before the presentation actually happens. And what a lot of times I find as well is people prejudge. And what does that mean? Well, it's basically when you're trying to, play God almost, right? Or you're trying to be a psychic friend where you feel that your friends or people that you're going to talk to, they're going to be either all about it and want to join your business and buy your products, or they're going to completely hate it. And you, in the meantime, think that, so you're not even going to talk to that person, or you're only going to talk to those people that you feel that are going to jump on board. And that can be one of the quick killers to your business, where a lot of people have a lottery ticket mentality, and they find a few people that they feel are going to go out and crush it, and or they're going to love their products or love their business, and that's the only people that they talk to. And when they don't get started, then they're like, oh, I'm out of luck, I can't be successful. And that's just really not the case. Again, inviting and building a successful business, when you do it correctly, just comes down to a numbers game. So again, in my situation, my story, a lot of my friends and family didn't join me right away. They didn't get started in my business. Even to today, a lot of my personal close friends and family members haven't gotten started, but that didn't really stop my business from growing to over thousands of business partners and reps and customers all over the world. So you don't really have to worry about your close friends and family if they do it or not. It's more just making the decision that you're going to make it happen. So again, back to inviting, you really want to not sell and convince. You just want to see if people are open. And that's one mistake I find a lot of people make, is they just try and be in pitch mode, and they're, pitch monster, and they're just spamming their links. They're throwing that out there, and they never even ask if somebody's open or willing to check out what they have. And if you follow that mindset of seeing if people are open, it's going to be very easy to transition to your presentation without being pushy or salesy, because they're going to want to see what you have. If you ask if somebody's open and they say yes, it's very easy to transition into sharing with them your opportunity or your products and services, because they want to see what's going on. They're open to it. So getting right into it, what's a great hot market invite? So this is really for people that are your close friends and family. So people that know you the best, trust you the most. Anytime when you're inviting, it's great to be busy and be in a hurry. If you are not in a hurry, you forget to talk about this with your prospect, it really opens the door for them to ask you a bunch of questions. And again, not that you're trying to mislead people or hide things or anything like that about your business. You just want them to see your business for what it really is. And the more that you quote unquote verbally vomit in front of them, or say too much beforehand, or try and present before they actually see a real presentation, it really can ruin your chances of them getting started. And there's tons of people I know that their friends have said too much to them, turned them off to the industry or turned them off to the business, and it could have really made a difference in their life. Or, somebody else invited them down the road and they did it the correct way, but then at that point they got started, but initially their friend said way too much. And again, that's why you want to be in a hurry and have them see it for the correct way. So again, once you're being busy, you want to clear the time after that. So, what are you doing at X? What are you doing at 7? What are you doing tomorrow at 3? What are you doing this week? If somebody says they're free or they're open, you want to move forward. If they say they're busy or they have something going on, or like, oh, what's going on, you basically lost, right? So don't move forward. Just reschedule for another time. It's not a huge deal. If you didn't go into presentation mode and explain everything at that point, you're completely fine. You can just reschedule with them later on. Say, hey, you know what? I'm busy too. No big deal. I'll catch you later. But again, if you're in a hurry, like, hey, real quick, hey, I'm slammed today at work right now, but real quick, what are you doing tonight at 7? They say nothing. Then you want to be excited. And there's a couple options you can do at this point, right? So again, they're your hot market. They know you the best. They're your best friends, your mom, your brother, your sister, whatever. Easy people that you can talk to. So again, if it's somebody really close, you can say, hey, I got something you got to see. I'm coming over. The end. That's your invite. You're showing them your presentation. Easy as that. But again, you could say something like, I've got an idea I want to run by you. I'm working on a project. I want your opinion on it. I've got some people you got to meet. If you're doing a live presentation or a group event, people will drive hours to meet a person, but they won't drive 5 minutes to go to a meeting, right? So if you can introduce them and edify a person, it's really going to help you out in the long run doing that invite, for example, if you're inviting to a group event. And again, at that point, once you've cleared the date, you're in a hurry, you've cleared the date, you're excited, then you just want to confirm the time, right? You confirm where you're meeting at. So I'm coming over, or I'll pick you up, I'll bring you there if you're going to a live meeting, or you meet me for coffee, meet me at Caribou, meet me at Starbucks, whatever the case is. That's an option you can do too. And then if you're really dealing, again, if somebody's going to meet you and you're not picking them up, this is a really great line you can use. You can say, hey, it's really important to me. Can I count on you to be there? And if these are your close friends, your family members, they're not going to want to let you down, right? So if you can lead with something like that, you're going to have a lot more people showing up for your appointments. And then finally, just confirm the time. Cool, I'll meet you at 3 o'clock at Starbucks, right? That works. All right, I'll see you there. So this is a really great invite that you can quickly use with your very close friends and family. Common mistake I see a lot of people make, unfortunately, though, is they try and use this invite with their acquaintances or people they haven't talked to in a while, or even people they just meet, where it doesn't work. If it's somebody you've never met before, you've just had a 2-minute conversation with them, and you're like, dude, what are you doing right now? Nothing. Cool, I'm coming over. Like, I've never met you before. No, you're not coming over. Or it's like, what are you doing tonight at 7? They say nothing. I got something you got to see. And it's like, cool. It's just weird, right? So you want to focus on this kind of invite really only for your closest contacts that you have a lot of trust and rapport with. And then why text and social media inviting? For me, I love it because it's perfect for introverts, but a great reason why this works so well is you can stick to the outline that works. And again, what I find a lot of people do is they're nervous, and if they're talking on the phone or they're trying to invite in person, they say too much, they get nervous, they get flustered, and they can't confirm the appointment. They can't follow the proven system that works, where if you're sticking to text or through social media like a Facebook or an Instagram, it's really simple to stay on track with that. And again, you can control the conversation where you don't really, again, have to worry about saying too much, because you're going to stick to the outlines and you're going to have a designated outcome that is coming. So if you say one thing, your prospect's going to respond one way, and then you just lead them through the path. So if you find out that they're open, it's a very simple process to lead them into an appointment. And again, it's great for busy people. If you have a full-time job, you've got kids, you're busy, you've got all kinds of activities, maybe you work a couple jobs, whatever the case is, text inviting and social media inviting is great, because you can send out 10, 15, 20 messages basically saying relatively the same thing, and set 5, 6 appointments a day, and you're maybe only spending 30 minutes on it. It's not a huge time extensive thing that you're putting into it, but you can really stack the numbers up. So if you're consistent with it every day, sending out maybe 5 to 10, 15 invites a day, depending on how much time you're putting into your specific business, it can be a really great way to stack up. And again, it's like I said, it's great for introverts, but it's great for extroverts as well. It's going to keep you on track. You're not going to say too much up front. And another really great invite, it's one of my favorites, is the two-step text invite. So again, you can use this through any media platform, text message, Facebook, social media. Again, this is probably more with people that you have a good rapport with. So again, maybe that hot market, or people that are pretty close to you. So people you see all the time at work, at the gym, people you talk to and have a phone number, you have a regular relationship with them that you see them all the time. So it could be something as simple as like coffee, ? Lunch, ? Beers, ? Whatever works. You're just asking them for some kind of appointment that you would normally have. So think of your friends. If you don't ever grab coffee with your friends, or that's super weird, don't do that, or grab lunch instead, something that is normal for you and your friends' relationships. So again, if that's going to grab beers or going to watch the game, whatever. So you can literally fill in the blank, like the next one says there, can you do X this week? So just put in something that's normal for you and your friends. And if they say yes, then you move to set a time and a date. And you want to do that with an alternative close. And what that is you're just giving them two options that work for you. So if I'm like, hey, can you do coffee this week? And they say yes, I'm going to choose two times that work for me. So I would say something like, great, how about Wednesday afternoon or Thursday evening? Those work for me. Would either of those work for you? And at that point, they're going to say either yes, one of those is going to work, or they're going to say no and suggest a time because they already agreed to do something with you this week, right? And you kind of look at it almost like a funnel or a bucket, right? Where it's got the large edges, steep sides on it. And once someone agrees to you, they're inside the bucket, they've agreed to meet with you. It's kind of hard to climb out, right? So at your point, your job then is just to narrow them down to an appointment time that works for you. And again, be normal, just do what you normally do. If you don't ever text your friends, this probably isn't the best invite to use. If you never call your friends, maybe don't use that hot market invite I was talking about where you call your friends and do this. Again, be normal, stick with the kind of communication and habits that you normally have with your friends, and you're going to get a lot better results. Now, long distance is another great way to invite and show prospects, where you can show people all over the world your business, your products, your service. Doesn't matter. If you do business there, you can show them. And what a common mistake that people will do is they really blast out their links. So again, if you're in network marketing and you've got a home business opportunity, maybe you've got a video or a website that you have that people can sign up with, instead of asking if they're open or even looking or actually inviting them, they'll blast their links on their social media, on their Facebook. They'll be like, hey, check out my great business opportunity. I'm looking for 5 motivated people to join me. And it just doesn't work. Your friends see what you're up to. You want to have curiosity be your friend. And again, not like you're misleading anyone, but you want to actually set an appointment and have them see it for what it really is. So when you blast your links, you lose all curiosity and opportunity to do that. You don't want to be sending mass emails again, where you're sending out your business presentation to every single person that you possibly know and ever have an email contact with. And hey, check out my awesome business opportunity. It's just not going to work. So overall, long distance invites are the exact same as the earlier ones I talked about, except instead of setting an appointment to meet them in person, or you're coming over to their house or whatever the case is, you're setting a time where they can be by a computer. Another great invite is if I would you. So you can use this to see if people are open, but you can also use it for setting a time up to view the presentation. So if you've used one of the earlier invites, for example, you could say, great, I have a video that goes through more of the details for you. If I sent that to you, would you be able to review it in this next week to so I can follow up with you? Or if I sent you this video, when would you be able to review it so I know when to follow up with you? So it gives you an opportunity to get a confirmation that if you're sending this video, they're agreeing to watch it. Then you just set a time to follow up. Where again, a lot of people, what they'll do is just blast their link to that person. And again, you want to keep in mind the idea of how soon can you get in front of a computer, because you want them sitting in front of their computer and then you verbally want to tell them where to go. A lot of people make that mistake as well, where they have their friend that says they're open and then they're like, great, check out my link, check out this video, here's the link, I'll talk to you later. And it's just kind of really up in the air at that point. It's awkward to follow up. It's just not really fun at that point, because you don't know if they watched it. You don't know when they're watching it, so you don't want to hound them and guess when they're done, and it can just be really awkward. So if you say, how soon can you be in front of a computer, or when do you have 30 minutes you can sit down in front of a computer, I could walk you through it. And then you just, again, you go through that alternative close process of being, hey, I could do Thursday night or Friday night. Do either of those work for you? And then you set the specific time. Then you're going to give them a call. And then once you're on the phone with them, you want to go through your why. So why you're doing the business, why you're excited about it, maybe what you're frustrated with and has you looking to start a home business, or why you decided to use these specific products, health products, weight loss, whatever it is, and how you're using those and it's going to change your life. So why it's important for you to do that, because people are going to buy your why and why you're doing something way more often than they're going to buy what you're doing. So they're going to be more agreeable towards you wanting to spend more time with your kids and get out of the job that you hate because you're frustrated and want to not miss your kids growing up. They're going to relate to that a lot more than you saying, oh, I just want to make a ton of money, and here's this awesome product I have and business opportunity that goes along with it. Like, they're not going to care, right? You might get a few that way, but you're not going to really relate to people as much as when you lead with your why and why you're doing something, because in their mind, then they can relate to why they would want to do a business or why they would want to join your team and what it could really mean for their life. And then again, you just walk them through the presentation, whether that's a video or verbal, depending on what kind of company you have. For me, I just show people a video at that point. And then you want to use an expert. That's one thing that in any situation when you're showing a presentation, get an expert involved. That can be somebody that you're working directly with, your upline, a sideline, your downline, people that know what's going on and can answer questions, because a prophet's not welcome in their own town, right? So if you can use an expert and get somebody else on the phone, especially when it's long distance, because all they're doing is watching a video or they're hearing a conference call, and it doesn't really have as much of a bigger picture, but just you. So if you can introduce them to an expert or somebody else that's having success, capitalize on social proof, you're going to get a lot better results. Another invite is one of my favorites, is reaching out to an old friend. And I find a lot of people struggle with, and I know I had in the past, inviting a friend that maybe you haven't talked to in a while, or maybe somebody you went to high school with or used to work with and kind of lost track. You haven't been working or talking to them for a while, right? So this is a great invite to do that with. So it basically goes like this. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I always remember blank. You give them a compliment and relate to how your relationship, how you know that person. So again, it could be like, hey, I always remembered, we haven't talked for a while, but I always remembered that you had such a great energy back in high school. I don't know what all you're up to these days, but my company is going through a surge of growth right now, and we're looking for someone to help with expansion. And I thought of you. It may or may not be a fit for you, but I was just curious if you might be open to a side project a few hours a week if it didn't interfere with your current work. So this is great, because again, you're asking if they're open. You're using some fear, loss, and takeaway. It may or may not be for them. And again, you're relating it back to your relationship and how you know them. So again, be genuine with this. Your friends, your relationship with them. Just think of something that is, again, genuine to your actual relationship. So when you say, hey, I remembered, and you fill in a compliment, and then again, how you know them. So that could be, you were always one of the smartest kids in high school, or you were always one of the hardest workers back when we used to work at XYZ company. However it is, however you know that person. So now on to recruiting your chicken list. And a lot of people have these, people they're scared to talk to, or maybe they're more successful than them and they're just not sure how to approach this person. And one thing you really want to keep in mind is the idea of recruiting up and how important that is when you're building a business. And unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they recruit down. And basically, if you think of how you know your friends or everybody in your contacts on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is going to be the most successful person. So, lame example, but back in high school, maybe it was the football captain of the football team, the prom queen, prom king, whatever. They're the most popular people. They're probably a 10 in that scenario, right? So again, though, if you're reaching out to those people, it's not necessarily what you think those people are, it's what they think they are in respect to you. So again, maybe you haven't talked to this person forever. Maybe you were a nerd in high school or whatever, like me, and maybe you weren't necessarily high up on the scale. So if you're talking to people that you haven't talked to since high school, they might view you as a lower number. So in that scenario, you really want to stick to this invite, which is just asking for their opinion. And the beauty of recruiting up is because people tend to recruit down, like I talked about, and reach out to people that are lower on the scale. So not right or wrong, but let's say you're 6, for example, you're going to tend to reach out to 5s and 4s. And then let's say you get one started. Well, they're going to tend to reach out to, 4s and 3s, and then it continues 3s and 2s, and then 1s, and then 0s. And once you get to that point, that's when you're going to start to run into a lot of people saying, oh, I just don't have the money, or they're skeptical, or they're negative, talking about pyramid deals and scams and just stuff like that, ignorant about business in general. But when you recruit up and you talk to more successful people, they just understand it. They understand business, they see your business opportunity, your products, like, oh, this makes sense. This is a way I can create a residual income, and you'll just get better results. So you want to create an upward spiral of recruiting through recruiting up, versus the down normal, which is the 10 to recruit down in your business. But using this asking for the opinion invite is a great way to ask for getting people on your chicken list to see your presentation. So, quick example, you can be like, hey, Uncle Bob, I know you've had a ton of success in XYZ, and I've always looked up to you, and you're one of the most successful people I know, and I really value your opinion on things, and I started working on a new project that I'm really excited about, and I was just wondering if there's any chance I could maybe get 30 minutes of your time to get your opinion on what I'm working on. And now again, when you're doing this, you don't really care either way if they're in or not, or what their opinion really is. Your job, again, through inviting, is just to show people your presentation for what it really is. And you want to have a backbone, right? You don't want to just fold over anytime somebody says your business is dumb, or they don't want to join, or they're not interested, or whatever the case is. But this is a great way where you can get your foot in the door and share it with people that are more successful than you on the scale. So really what you do is you just boost their ego, and it's legitimate based on your relationship with them. So maybe they have all kinds of degrees, they have PhDs and master's degrees, so you could talk about that and be like, hey, I know you've had a lot of success in school and education, you've got all kinds of degrees, and you're one of the smartest people I know, and I really value your input on things, and I just started working on a project and I'm excited about it. And, since you have a lot of experience, I was just wondering if there's any chance I could maybe get 30 minutes of your time and get your opinion on what I'm working on. So again, it's a great way to expose these people. And if they're not into it, that's totally cool. Again, your job isn't to convince and sell people to get started in your business, it's just to share it with them. And the right ones will want to get started and they'll want to buy your products and join your team. It's totally cool. And if they say no, no big deal. Just ask for referrals. So, like, hey, it's totally cool. It's not for you, but I just was wondering if maybe you knew of some other sharp people just like yourself that are motivated and that would be open to make some extra money if I walked them through it step by step. So again, asking for a referral is key because you never know, right? They may have a friend that's really looking and could be the next rock star on your team. And I know there's hundreds of people that I know, that are in my primary business where they've hit the top level of the company, right? Where they were through a referral. Somebody asked, who do you know? And that's where they came from. So Again, how do you invite? You're seeing this now. Maybe you've been in the industry for a while and you're just seeing this and you're like, crap, I screwed it up. What do I do now? How do I invite at this point? Well, first thing you want to do is apologize for screwing it up. You want to make yourself vulnerable and, just tell people straight up, tell them how it is. You were new and excited. At this point, you don't really care if they join since they already seem really like they're not into it, but just tell them you're sorry that you were excited and new and you screwed it up. You said all the wrong things, but I'm sure it's not for you at this point. Leave your money at home, but I don't want you to hear about it down the road and have it would have been for you and be mad at me because I didn't share it with you. So like I said, I know it's already a no, so it's not a big deal to me either way. And, I don't really care if you join, but I at least want you to know what you're saying no to. And that's a great way to get people to at least take a look. And again, a lot of these people will get started. And if they don't, it's totally fine. But again, you can always ask for referrals at that point as well, because you could say, other people that I don't that could want to do this. I know it's not for you, but I think a lot of people that could want to take advantage of this. And I'd love to at least share it with you so you know what you're saying no to. And again, maybe some other people that might want to take advantage of it as well. So this is a great way to invite, even if you've screwed it up. So these are some different results. Some of the people have been working with me over the past few years that have really become master inviters and really decided to hone in on this skill and take advantage of it and use it in their business on a daily basis. First one on the left here is Julie. She's great. She's been working with me for a couple years at this point, and at this point she has qualified with the car bonus with her company. She's making residual income. She's been on a bunch of trips as well. She's one of my top recruiters in my organization. So she's been really crushing this by following this system and these invites and using them in her business. Next guy here is Wes. He's out in the Ohio area, and he's been following this system and results as well. He's been growing his team from, out in Cleveland, Columbus, out in Florida, and it's growing on a really fast pace as well. And last one here is Denise. She started working with me a few years back as well, working on her inviting skills and honing this skill set. And at this point, she's been able to replace her income. She was a bailiff in a courthouse, ended up losing her job right before she started in the industry. And over the past couple of years, have been able to replace that income. And at this point, she's on pace to retire her and her husband as well. So she's really been taking advantage as well. So these are just some of the couple people I've been working with that have really been plugged in to this master inviting concept and been getting great results as well. So again, inviting is really the foundation, like I talked about, but that's what really leads into my impact prospecting recruiting mastery system. What do you do beyond inviting? And, inviting, like I said, is the foundation. If you can't get people to see your business, you don't really have a business. No one's ever going to start or buy your products or anything like that. And again, maybe your story is similar to me. I've been doing in the industry for about 10 years at this point. And, like I talked about, I was super introverted and awkward and terrible at inviting when I first started in the industry, which is fine. I learned it through trial and error, but at that point, I had screwed it up with most of my warm market. And for me to begin with, I didn't really have a huge circle of friends and influence because, like I said, I wasn't a people person or, anything like that. I wasn't really credible at that point. So again, what do you do at that point? Have you gone through your warm market? What do you do now? Maybe you don't have credibility with your contacts like I didn't when I was new. How do you prospect the cold market? If you don't already have these contacts, where do you find people to talk to? How do you attract people to you? There's a lot of ways that you can attract leads and people coming to ask about your business versus you just personally actively prospecting and reaching out to people. How do you do that? And again, how do you create passive leads and sales for your business? So how do you create people coming to you wanting to hear about your business, your products, your service, versus again always having to do that forever? And that was kind of my situation where I knew active prospecting works. I still do it. I recommend it. I still talk to people in my warm market. I still meet people out and about, and that's great, but there's not a whole lot of leverage to it where there's different tools and ways that you can attract leads and sales to you. through marketing. And that's what, again, what really leads into my Impact Prospecting Recruiting Mastery System, where this is really part one, inviting mastery, and part two, module two, is marketing and lead generation. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to teach you how to treat your business like a business. And a lot of people, the reason that they don't get success in business and don't get results is because they don't treat it like a business, and they just treat it like a hobby. So they don't really have the tools that you need to capture leads, to brand yourself, to become a leader. They don't know how to market online. They don't have that skill set yet. Again, this module is really going to help you master the art of lead generation. And again, if I were to do this module all by itself, it's well over a $297 value for this module itself. So that's module two. Module three is going to be prospecting with posture. So again, it's really answers the question of how do you prospect cold market? How do you find your ideal prospect? How do you start a conversation naturally with someone that you meet out and about? That was one thing I struggled with for a long time, was how do I even have a conversation with someone? That's how socially awkward I was. So again, this is really going to give you a step-by-step blueprint to either a lead or to having someone see your presentation. And again, this is going to really teach you how to get people to want to see what you have to offer. Again, like I said, a common mistake people make is they're pitch monsters, and they're just throwing their links, they're throwing their opportunity in people's faces when they're not even looking or open. And again, this is going to teach you how to get people to want to see what you have. You're also going to learn some words you must avoid while prospecting. There's going to be some words that you can say right away. It's just going to throw up instant red flags and turn your prospects off. So I'm going to go through that. Also, how to stay in control with your prospects. A lot of times what people have happen is their prospects start asking them a bunch of questions, and they lose control of the whole conversation, and that person never sees their business or products or services. So you're going to learn how to stay in control of the conversation with your prospects, and how to have a CEO posture. Again, a lot of people are very needy and beggy, desperate when they're prospecting. This is going to teach you how to have the posture of a CEO. And again, this module is well over a $297 value in and of itself for prospecting with posture. Module 4 is going to go over the action plan and automation you're going to need to create success in your business. So basically, the daily habits you're going to need to succeed. I'm going to help you customize your game plan for your success. Tools you can use to really automate your marketing and lead generation. And then also really how to determine what your income producing activities should be for your specific business. And then also how to leverage your time and really create results faster through automation and following a proven action plan that's going to get you results. So again, this module also a $297 value. Module 5 is going to really go over creating content to attract your target market. So again, this is where I talked about earlier about attracting leads and people to you. So you're going to learn how to create content to attract your ideal prospects. So it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, travel, weight loss, energy, fitness, whatever the case is, you're going to learn what kind of content to create to really attract your ideal prospects. And then where to market your content and bring in prospects that are ready to buy. That's one thing that people really make the mistake of is, well, they don't know how to make content, but if they do, they don't really know where to put it to start attracting people to them. So that's what I'm going to go through as well. And again, what to say in your content to start generating leads and sales. Some common mistakes people make that, maybe they have content out there, but they're not getting leads or sales through it. I'm going to tell you what to say to help you do that. And then also how to position yourself as an expert through your content. Again, to position yourself as a leader. People work with people. It doesn't matter necessarily how awesome your comp plan is, how great your products are. Well, that's obviously good to have those things, but people really work with people. So this is going to teach you how to position yourself as an expert through your content. And then again, how to generate leads and sales to your content, even if you're brand new. So I don't care if you've been around a day, we'll teach you strategies on how you can create content to start getting leads and sales for your business, even if you don't, you're just getting started. So again, this module itself is a $297 value as well. Module number 6 is the top earner mindset. And a lot of people maybe don't understand the value of having the right mindset, but again, you really want to have the attitude and mindset of a top earner. And what does that mean? Well, you're going to learn how to develop leaders in your team, create duplication in your organization, how to get out of your comfort zone and become a top earner. A lot of people get stuck in their comfort zone, and that's keeping them where they're at. You know, if you want things to change, you need to change. And if you want things to get better, your thoughts and actions need to get better as well. So this is going to help you get outside of your comfort zone. And then, you know, the mindset you need to be a top recruiter in your business, and then how to avoid frustration with the top earner mindset. And again, this module is a $297 value as well. And again, for my impact prospecting recruiting mastery system, if you want to take advantage of this right now, the first 5 orders that come in also get my form recruiting machine blueprint training, which is over a $600 value for free. So this training really goes through the ins and outs of exactly what to say in a conversation, to find out the pain of your prospect, to find out what it is that they're looking for, find out exactly why they would be a fit for your business, and the questions that you can ask them to really lead them into your presentation and find out exactly why they'd want to check it out and join your business. So again, the first people that want to get started with my impact prospecting recruiting mastery system get access to that as well for free. So again, my impact prospecting recruiting mastery system, right now we have the special price available for only $297, which is basically the price of you know, one module. So right now, before launch happens, we're gonna have that special price available for people, and I just posted up the link there that people can register, so you can definitely check that out. But again, over $2,300 in value for the cost of just one module. And like I said, you're already getting the I part of the impact prospecting recruiting machine mastery system right now. So again, the whole thing itself only $297, and it'll be starting in a couple weeks here. And when it does, the price will go up at that point. So if you order now before launch starts, it's only $297, and we're going to be doing it with different webinar training. So it'll be a 5-part webinar series as well. Let me get back to my PowerPoint. And again, here's the link to order. You just go to coachmikemcdonald.com/impact to register for this. And like I said, the link should be active there that you can click and register for that as well. And if you stuck it out to the end, thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. If you want to get that bonus training, like I was talking about at the beginning, you can check that out there, the 7 proven steps to closing for your business, and check that out as well. So you can go to that link. But yeah, to get registered, go to coachmikemcdonald.com/impact. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. And then I'll open up the chat here for a quick sec to see if anybody had any questions. So I'll hang out for a few here, but thanks so much. All right, guys, looks like we don't have any questions. So cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys more soon.